Good evening, I'm Laura Lee.
And I'm Dan Wolf. Thanks for joining us. There's an urban search and rescue team responding to unique emergencies across northern Minnesota. Duluth City Council voted this week to approve an agreement that makes them recognized by the state.
Yeah, Northern News Now's Madison Green tells us more about the agreement, who it's with, and the work they plan to do.
Almost exactly 1 year ago, the Miller Hill Mall collapsed. Minnesota Task Force 2, an urban response team specializing in structural collapses, answered the call.
They responded to the scene with Duluth, Virginia and the 148th, assessed the damage, ensured that there were no victims underneath the collapse zone. If there was, they would have worked their way into them.
As Duluth Deputy Fire Chief Rob Morehouse said, the Joint Task Force is comprised of members from the Duluth, Virginia, and 148th Fire Department. Since 2016, the three forces have been under a mutual agreement. But now they are in the process of making it more official in the eyes of the state.
It won't change what the boots on the ground do. They're going to do their job and go out and provide rescue and victim services as they would prior to this JPA. This is more administrative.
According to Virginia Deputy Fire Chief Eric Jonasson, by entering into this agreement, all three forces wrote together. The task force would have a clearer model on how to make decisions and allocate funds.
It does provide a little more oversight and ensures that each participating city is represented on the board of directors, and they'll have equal say in what the team does.
Minnesota Task Force 2 could respond to calls anywhere in the state, and Deputy Fire Chief Morehouse says the agreement will help them move as one unified team so they can focus on their main mission.
This is about life safety and protecting our citizens in Minnesota. And when you have a large structural collapse, it's all hands on deck.
In Duluth, Madison Green, Northern News Now.
And that agreement is going through all the department's authorities separately.
Yeah, Virginia will be voting on the agreement at its next city council meeting, and the 148th is also in the process of approving it.